Howdy. Welcome back to the top 10 albums of 1995. We continue the list with number 4, Me Against the World by Tupac, released on March 14th. Your top tracks are going to be If I Die Tonight, Me Against the World, and Dear Mama. Another album that dominated my childhood, Tupac was in constant rotation with my parents and really my family overall. So much like Alice in Chains, Me Against the World supplies a healthy dose of nostalgia that provides enough energy from a man who felt like he was wronged by the world. So let's go ahead and talk about some of that energy today. My name is TJ Stevens, and this is Me Against the World. This album contains an intro that is filled with news snippets talking about Pac's previous legal troubles. This record was released during Shakur's incarceration, where he was, and I believe, wrongfully convicted of 4th-degree sexual assault. Now, I'm not here to go into the nuances of that trial, but if you are aware of the case and how everything went down, then you'll understand the anger Tupac had towards the world, especially when it came to the news. My favorite person on this little compilation is a snarky woman who says, "Meanwhile, in Tupac news," as if they were being forced to cover him. I digress. This serves as an intro, but not a legitimate opener, as that track would belong to If I Die Tonight, is the true opener, or at least the true opening song. A coward dies 1,000 deaths. A soldier dies but once. These are the first words we hear off of this album from Tupac's stepbrother Mopreme Shakur, if I'm not mistaken. The words are inspired by Shakespeare's Julius Caesar. It goes a little bit something like this. Cowards die many times before their deaths. The valiant never taste of death but once. And only the valiant can truly understand those words. If you don't, then I would advise making some life changes. Fitting this starts off with a Shakespeare reference, as Tupac was heavily influenced by his work, as a lot of people were and still are. And speaking of Pac, the moment Tupac appears on this track, the energy is immediately heightened. Shit starts off with, "They say pussy and paper is poetry, power, and pistols." Those are the first words that we hear from him, and we'll get into his writing ability a little later on, but I love how he enters this track with almost a syncopated-like rhythm. He really cuts up every syllable to ensure that it's digestible for any listener. If I Die Tonight provides a look inside the mind of a paranoid person constantly thinking of death. Whether it be others or their own, they are always ready to face death should the day come, and that's how Tupac was living. Dude constantly felt stalked, set up, and he wouldn't always help with his antics, but even if he calmed down, his enemies definitely wouldn't have. A great opener that appropriately sets the tone for the rest of the album. And speaking of, we have our title track, Me Against the World. And this is one of my favorite songs from Pac, no question about it. The production is prominent, but not abrasive. Backup singer Puff Johnson does a wonderful job maintaining the vibes on the chorus whenever Tupac dips out for a little bit. Then you got Outlaws, also known as Drumsidal. I hope I'm saying these names right. Yaki Gaddafi, or Yakai Gaddafi, I know I'm butchering it, forgive me. Him and Idi Amin take the second and third verse respectively. You know, when it comes to these dudes and their performance, I never minded them, but I wasn't exactly holding my breath for them, you know what I mean? No shade, I just would rather be listening to Pac. And speaking of him, what the hell is he talking about on our title track? Well, he is highlighting many aspects of his life at the time. The injustices that he was facing, his many oppositions wanting to see him fall, the feeling of being stranded and having nowhere to go. Really, the overall anxiety that you get when you feel the entire globe is out to get you. Fittingly, Shakur takes these negative emotions and tries to find some light in it. Shit, most of the last verse is him saying to keep your head up high when things turn south. Don't ever change. Keep your essence. When everybody has turned their backs, you are all that you have. Don't succumb to peer pressure and turn on yourself as well. At least that's what I get out of this tune. A damn good song and a damn good title track. Want to talk about a few tracks that I couldn't go more in depth in. Let's start with So Many Tears. It's one of the many great pieces on this record. The bass line is slick, but that harmonica brings a whole other personality to this song. I distinctly remember hearing that harmonica one late night while the house was noisy and I needed to get some juice. There was an unusual aroma that I was not familiar with. What I am familiar with, though, is the song Temptations. Now, obviously, Tupac is talking about the many temptations one faces in life, but the main reason I fuck with this track is Easy Mo B during the chorus. Whenever he starts singing, I know you've been searching for someone. Damn! I just think that part is cold as hell. That part alone is worth the listen. Believe me. The sixth track on this album is decent. Again, though, for me, it's the background vocals that really draw me in. Near the end, we have our singer Keela Stewart that performs this beautiful melody singing, Young Vatos die. She didn't say Vatos, but you know what I mean. Damn, I really, really like that vocal melody. Tupac is more than capable of holding his own on an album, but his supporting cast really takes this to the next level. Those were just a few tracks I had to mention just a little bit. Oh, shit. How can I forget? Heavy in the Game. I need to talk about the sample to this track, because this happens a lot whenever I look up samples. The sample to Heavy in the Game comes from a song by the SOS band called Just Be Good to Me. And guess fucking what? The song is 9 goddamn minutes long. It's fucking incredible that somebody can take a handful of seconds from a near 10-minute piece and create their own work of art. Music is fun as hell, y'all. Also, Heavy in the Game, it's funky as fuck. Alright, enough messing around. Let's talk about Dear Mama. I think this is Tupac's greatest work. When it comes to an artist projecting a certain emotion on a song, it can be very difficult for me to relate to those emotions, especially love. I connect with songs more so for how they sound, but this one? Nah, I feel every bit of emotion on this track. Each lyric is timeless, and I believe that 99% of humans can relate to them. The love you have for your mother. And that love is amplified 1,000-fold if you become a parent, because now you are seeing the world how they did. That's why Tupac said, "There is no way I can pay you back, but the plan is to show you that I understand. You are appreciated." Appreciation is the truest gift of life. Being able to appreciate all the times mom had to work late and still came home to make sure there was dinner hot and ready for y'all. All the times she was there when no one else was, and all the wise words she would give. Sometimes they would fall on deaf ears, and when you have to learn your lesson the hard way, who was the first one there to tell you, "I told you so"? But then again, who was the first one there? My appreciation for this song is indescribable. It's not even one you throw on during a road trip, but it's just one that finds you when you least expect it. Just makes you grateful, or at least it makes me grateful for everything my mother did and continues to do for me after all of these years. Mom, if you're hearing this right now, I love you. And I want you to know that you are, in fact, appreciated. Also, Funny thing about this song, we all know that Tupac keeps it real with his lyrics, one of his greatest qualities, but one line that always makes me laugh is when he says, "Even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was a black queen, mama." I get it. He was telling it from his perspective, but if I was his mama, I would have been a little pissed off. Like, you could have left that shit out. Like, what, did nothing else rhyme with Black Queen? But it's whatever. It's not my song. Just always made me laugh. What more can I say about this song? It's Dear Mama. Enough said. Our closer is gonna be a tune called Outlaw. Of course, this track features the Outlaws, or Dramacidal, and unfortunately, I am so incredibly indifferent towards this song. I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. As a closer, though, I would have preferred Dear Mama or the title track, literally anything else. An amazing record that comes to a deflating end, but hey, that's just me, and that was Me Against the World, coming in at a crunchy 66 minutes. Could possibly be the longest album on this list, but we'll have to wait and see. Listen, this is Tupac. You're either fucking with him or you're not, and when you possess this much talent on the mic and with the pen, it's hard not to fall in love with this album. Really, is so many tracks I couldn't even get into. Lord Knows is fantastic. It Ain't Easy is a fucking classic. Can You Get Away is sweet but heartbreaking. I even fuck with Old School on the heavy. I mean, what more can I say? We wouldn't be here if they didn't pave the way. This is simply a record that you need to make sure that you listen to, and not just hear. And when you do, you go ahead and let me know where Me Against the World would land on your list. Would you place it higher, lower, or take it off entirely? As always, y'all let me know down below, and stay tuned.